Hey y'all, what's up? Your girl G here. Welcome back to my channel. Appreciate you for tuning in. Just coming just coming to talk to y'all really fast about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. This honestly, I don't want to say it was a filler episode, but it just, wasn't too much to talk about, just besides everybody trying to get off their chest what they are I guess holding in about what they are dealing with as far as the person that they don't like that's on the trip. And I know Rennie Rucci's trying so hard for everybody just to, kumbaya. But Miss Spice, I'm gonna need you to come to the front, girl, because this this was supposed to be your retribution year, okay? And you are shooting yourself in the foot, okay? So let me scoot on up. Let's go ahead and get into this episode, y'all. All right, so we pick up where we left off. I don't want to say where we left off, but everybody's showing up. For the trip or whatever. Rashida's there. She rocked Kirk. Mendices, he was left behind. Zale, he comes or whatever. Everybody shows up. They get in the cars, and Zale is talking to, the ladies about, what's happening with him and Saucy. He's a little upset that this is where the place that they're in. He never expected that he would ever say, some of the things that he said to Saucy, and he don't know if he's coming on the trip, but, if he does or happens to, then, he of course wants to talk to him. These damn scam calls is something. Sorry, y'all, these just telemarketers. So yeah, he tells the ladies about, Saucy and just how sad he is that this is the place that they are in. Obviously, Spice and the other girls can see that he's hurt and, really want him to just have the opportunity to, get his feelings, get his feelings fixed with his boo-boo, okay? With his bae, all right? So then, it's Bambi and Sierra in the car with Rennie Rucci, Spice, I think Jessica at the time. And yeah, so Rennie was like, yeah, girls, with all of us here, let's just try to have a good time, get stuff, we might all be kind of in a divided space, but let's just try to work together on this trip. And so somehow, I forgot who mentioned it. Somebody was like, yeah, with you, Bambi, and Sierra, I just want y'all to be good. It might have been Karlie or whatever. And Sierra's thing to Bambi is that she feels like Bambi didn't stick up for her when social media, I guess, was coming after her when the whole thing blew up with Erica and Safari, and her admitting that Safari reached out to her. Because after that clip, or not the clip, but the episode aired where Sierra let Erica know that Safari was trying to be funny, he came and, tried to take a swing at her, which Safari would just screw anything walking. That's just really what it is. And then also he does it for the enjoyment of oh, I got her type situation. You go after Sierra, after being with Sierra, they're her closest girl. It definitely was him trying to take a jab at Erica, but also, see if he can get Sierra at the same time. I'm gonna get at you through your friends, essentially. But Sierra kind of feels like, Bambi knows she dead ass wrong. I was on social media and she didn't even come to defend me. And so Bambi's like, girl, I was dealing with my own shit. I didn't even have enough to bring my head up enough for air to breathe. She was like, do you know what I was doing? The day before, I had a whole ass panic attack. And so the next day, I didn't even have enough energy for me. So a good friend would understand that and, consider, my recovery. And so I think both of them had expectations of each other and they both keep saying something oh, I just realized that the way I show up for people, they might not show up for me, and I gotta be okay with that. Everything is always gonna be that, my energy that I put out towards other people, might not get reciprocated. So sorry y'all if you see a weird light. I have a room light situation. It's a galaxy light thing. I forgot to turn it off before I start this video. So if you see weird colors and stuff like that, that's what it is. So yeah, Bambi is just kind of feeling like, girl. First of all, see though that what necessarily what were you running from her? Because Erica to me really should have been the one, because it had to do with like Safari. Erica really should have been the one to come to your defense. Like, y'all know, don't get on Sierra. She's a good friend of mine. She told me what happened. And also Sierra's feeling like Bambi, she was like, our old friend, she wasn't, holding her accountable. Anytime she do something effed up, like she don't be calling her out. And you see how now they ain't say Erica's name. It's like, oh, that old friend or this person, like they ain't say Erica Bena's name. So our old friend, as Sierra said, like, you let social media attack me, and that's just effed up. And so they basically agree to disagree. Like, girl, I there ain't nothing else I can do. Bambi's like, girl, I had a lot going on, and you wanted me to show up for you, but I couldn't do it. Friend, I couldn't do it. And like, you should also think about that as well. Um, as much as you want somebody to do something for you, you have to think about, am I being selfish in this moment? And like Sierra, you're just looking for like a rescuer, I guess, in that moment, and for it to be your friend. But Bambi also felt some type of way about how you didn't show up for her as well, which we'll talk about when everybody gets to the table. But yeah, they basically was just like, yeah, we see each other. Because Bambi's like, how could you dare even think something like that? Like, you know me. And she was like, well, really, I don't. Because I guess Sierra felt like purposely, like, she left her hanging. And so Bambi was like, girl, that's so messed up. Like, don't do me. She like, you know me. And she was like, well, maybe I don't. So after that, Jessica, she feel like she want to have her moment with Spice of just being like, girl, you was real dry, little dry rude with me. The last time I saw you, I didn't like it. And Spice is always under this thing of like, huh, girl, I don't know you. Like, it's the thing. Like, girl, we don't talk. Like, what you mad at me again for? Like, and just pull her, Jessica. Why Jessica always look like she a good 2 drinks in every episode? Like, it's something like she's so damn tiny. Like, she look like all she gotta do is take a damn Advil and that bitch would be loopy. Like, she be turned. Jessica just be looking like she be turned off the smallest stuff. Always looking like she a good half a bit of drill in. Um, but yeah, so she just kind of had her thing with Spice, but Spice is not like entertaining it. But Spice, everybody has acknowledged how you definitely have become unbearable to be around, or you've had behaviors that have everybody looking at you like, girl, like, let's not. So everybody meets up after they, check in or whatever, and they go and sit down at the table, and everybody's just kind of like reconvening and talking about what they're going to do on the trip and their expectations, yada yada. And once again, everybody's kind of confronting each other over what they want to address. And so that's when it was like Rennie. Once again, she was like, yeah, I know we got this big divide. Even Rashida was like, yeah, ladies, like, um we all, just should be able to work things out, and Rennie's like, well, we made it this far. Ain't nobody swung no hands. So like, that's a plus. But yeah, she basically, brings up again, everybody trying to make up and at least be cordial with each other. And so once again, the Bambi and Sierra thing comes up. Everybody's talking about it, and Sierra's like, um, I don't want to fight with Bambi. That's my girl. Like, I love you. And Bambi's like, girl, I don't know how many lemon drops Sierra did have. Which one is it? You not messing with me, or you want to be my friend? I'm confused. I think Sierra deep down really misses Bambi, but her pride is getting in the way of understanding, like, okay, in this moment, I, might have needed something for her, but I need to, as far, a lot of times, one thing women forget to extend to their girlfriends that they definitely know how to extend to their niggas, okay, is grace. Is grace. You got all the grace in the world for that dirty dog ass nigga that did you dirty. swinging you every which way and loose, cheating on you, having babies on you, doing you all types of wrong. Girl, Sierra, you didn't have to fight Eric this season, get him served. Like, y'all give all these disgrace, but the minute your friend do something, it's like, cut that bitch off, period. And Sierra, this was one of those moments where Bambi needed grace. Point blank, period. Y'all should have been extending grace to each other because both of y'all were going through something, which is kind of what Bambi ended up saying. Like, we both were dealing with something and expecting something out of each other. And that's just, where we at. And so Bambi also just does kind of say, she's like, we also, a lot of people being involved. We need to talk this out, not basically in front of everybody. And Sierra, her confessional was like, yeah, me and Bambi, we should, speak about it in private. But I just don't like that she keep using everybody else as an excuse. But what you did to me was dirty. Like, Sierra is like really feeling like Bambi should have stuck up for her. So then after that, Jessica, once again, she talks to Spice and she was like, yeah, Spice, I'm not gonna lie, the last time, you spoke to me was a little crazy. Like, I don't know, understand what's going on. Like, and Jessica just want her to acknowledge. She was like, cause she was like, Spice, you act like you don't know me or whatever. And you were giving me like this type of like dry energy. And Spice looked across the table like, girl, I don't know you. And everybody just kind of did the, oh Lord, Spice, like, oh Lord. Because when you tell somebody, like, when you pull the Mariah Carey, like, I don't know her. Like, I don't know her. Like, really what you're saying is, I ain't got the time or the energy. You ain't worth my time or energy, and you ain't that important. And to kind of give that perception to somebody else, like, but you ain't that important, definitely would rub some people maybe the wrong way. But Jessica in this situation, I think Polo Jessica, she is a very emotionally sensitive, timid little bird. And she also, I think, is taking on some of Karlie's frustrations with Spice as well. Spice basically to entertain. She's like, I see Jessica's trying to get something out of me, and I'm not going to allow her to do it. It's like she keeps trying to get something out of me, and no, like, it's not happening. And so basically, when Spice was like, I don't know her, like, I don't know you, everybody else was kind of like, here we go. And then it turned from the whole situation with Spice to Zale speaking up and just kind of be like, have any of you just ever just be like, what, friend, like, this is a situation, I'm sorry that I hurt you, or whatever you did that you said, that made you feel some type of way, I apologize, and that's it. And so he's like, have any of you have, like, just did that? And Bambi and Sierra both said that, yeah, they had that moment, but after that, it just hasn't, just like their friendship just hasn't recovered. And so that's when, Bambi admitted that, like, we both kind of weren't putting the energy, into it. And I think honestly that's where they're at. They both are just in such a sensitive spot emotionally, just kind of like fragile, whatever the hell they got going on in their life, that right now I can't muster up the energy to try to fix this friendship when shit, y'all see Bambi dealing with every Mama D. You see how y'all saw the shit Mama D did last episode. I'm sorry I didn't talk about it when Mama D had that party and did the bam, got the hooves and all that type of shit like that. Like, dealing with that on top, and you dealing with Scrappy, Money the daughter, you got Erica, you got Diamond. Like, at that time, Bambi was dealing with a lot of Sierra. So like I said, she wasn't extending her no grace, if you ask me. So yeah, and then Zale asked, was like, Spice, oh yeah, and then Sierra was like, because Bambi was like, but yeah, I definitely would expect an apology because, when that shit was going down, last season when freaking Shekinah and Spice was on one, especially Spice was on when she was going after Bambi, like, what are you looking at? Like, why you lie so much? And Baby's like, girl, who you talking to? And then all hell broke loose. Like everybody was just sitting at the table. And so Bambi's like, ain't nobody step up or stand in and like say nothing. And Sierra's like, yeah, no, girl, like maybe at that moment. But when I went to the room, I literally went and told Spice, like, girl, you was wrong for that. And she was like, Spice, did I not? And she looked at Spice, and Spice, y'all, had the nerve to be like, well, it's a snow day tomorrow, you know, guys, get ready. And Sierra was like, no, this bitch didn't. Like Spice, which Spice, you know she did. You know she told you you were effed up. That's the one thing I'm gonna stick up for with Sierra. You were corrected by Sierra. Everybody last season said Spice. Even your friends Rashida and Kirk was like, girl, you can't allow yourself to get like that. I have a theory with Spice, which we'll get to, but everybody's looking at Spice like, damn, Spice, you really do not know how to admit when you're wrong. Zell was like, when it comes to Spice, like, she just does not want to hear it. And that's, no bueno. So everybody saw how Spice was acting. Basically, they was like, man, let's go, get ready for tomorrow. Sierra, not Sierra, but Bambi, Jessica, and what's the other girl? Karlie. They went upstairs. Karlie didn't say nothing. She ain't bring it up yet. Her situation with Spice. She just talked to the girls about how, they met up and it didn't necessarily go the greatest. But in the room, Jessica's feeling like, well, dang, y'all didn't step up for me. Like, y'all didn't say nothing. And Karlie's like, girl, I already got my situation with Spice. Like, everybody's looking for each other to be like, who gonna say some shit first to Spice? Like, everybody's looking at each other like, damn, ain't nobody gonna call Spice out? And it's like, well, eventually, like, we all got a problem with her, And so that really is sad. Like, when you think about it, like, when somebody feels like everybody's after them, and it's a thing of like, okay, person, if all these people have a problem with you, there comes a moment where you gotta be like, damn, all these people got a problem. Like, what am I doing? That's just called self-reflection, Spice, and you really need to do it. So the next day, they do like a little ski sledding, the dogs, whatnot. It looked like a really cool activity. Zell, they went out there, got stuck in the snow. They ended up going. It definitely looked like super fun. I'm glad they did something different than just going to the beach per usual. Like, it was a different environment, and it was snowing hard than a mug. Yeah, it was just good to see a different scenery, like, on the shows. Like, it don't have to be the beach every goddamn time, y'all go somewhere. But yeah, so after they do, that, they're back in the car on the way home. And, am I missing something? Because I really feel like, was there something else that happened in between? No, I really don't think so. Yeah, no, I don't think so. They all get in the car, and Jessica happens to be in the car with Spice. And Yandy and Rashida, and Spice was like, let me take this moment to actually speak to Jessica because, now she's alone. I feel like this is a more appropriate time. And so she was like, Jessica, you seem like you was trying to get a reaction out of me. And Jessica was like, no, I was just trying to get you acknowledged that, like, you kind of was, like, rude, not, like, nonchalant, like, not attentive to me or whatever. And, you hurt my feelings. And so she's like, I hurt your feelings. She's like, I just want you to acknowledge that, like, that was hurt my feelings. Like, it's messed up to say, like, acknowledge that you hurt somebody's feelings or whatever. And Spice was like, girl, I, like, once again, don't know you, but I really want you to not take out, like, your perception, because I know you friends with Karlie, and actually just basically see me for me. Now, Jessica does admit that, like, she does have a little bit of a preconceived notion, but a lot of it also does have to do with the fact that when she was trying to talk to you after that baby situation, she actually was being very middle grounded when she was speaking to Spice about how Bambi's feelings were hurt. And if you were winding the episode back, and she was like, just the way that you were, acting with her and speaking to her, like, Spice's response to that was like, because I'm a dark-skinned girl. And Jessica was like, no, don't do that. And I think this is my theory. I think because, unfortunately, obviously being in this world of colorism, we know, the darker your skin, the harder it is for you, especially as a woman. And I think because Spice being called all the names that she's called in her life, dealing with all of the, racial comments. Like, you walk around on the defense all the time. And sometimes that means you attack unprovoked, or you attack before actually genuinely digesting a situation. And I think she's doing it subconsciously or unconsciously. And I'm saying, even as a person that's like, I may be, light skinned, but I still understand the concept of how being, on the other end of the spectrum is a harder life. Like, colorism exists. And so when you are a darker skinned woman, immediately we all know, like, your expressions are automatically going to be taken in the wrong way. And I think Spice is so conditioned to feel like, oh, you're just taking my, like, I just speak that way. Like, anytime somebody calls her out, remember, y'all, she just keeps saying, I'm Caribbean, I'm loud, I just speak that way. I'm not yelling, I just speak that way. And so it's just like, I think she's using that, like, as putting her constantly in the state of victimization because you are the dark skinned girl. And that's not what is happening to you all the time, Spice. There are times in which you are simply being abrasive, you are being aggressive, and it has absolutely nothing to do with people perceiving it that way because you are a dark skinned girl. It's because you are acting that way. How do you not watch that last season back, Spice, and think that you was not cutting up a plum full when it came to Karlie? Like, for real, Spice. And so that's why it's so unfortunate, because it's like, girl, you talking about, oh, let's do this as a recovery trip, and this is gonna be healing and whatnot. But yet you won't do the healing. You not the one initiating fixing the shit with Karlie. So her and Jessica essentially make up, and she's like, hi, I'm Spice, I'm Jessica, and they basically like call it truce. But Spice, at the end of the day, you are definitely just lashing out. And it's very unhealthy. And your excuse to treat people bad, like Karlie, of I just talk that way. Like, I get it. Maybe that's something that you've done in your life, but that doesn't make it right. There's some people who done something a certain way their whole life, but it doesn't make it not wrong. And so I think because she's constantly lived her life that way, just on a, let me secure myself, when you're always on defense, like, you lash out, you ready to go because you're trying to protect yourself. But not every situation is that, not every situation is judging you off of being a dark skinned girl, Spice. And as we see, like, for the trailer for next week, she is going to do it again with the, I'm not going to let them do this to me again. I'm not going to let them do this to me again. And why is she acting like that? Like I'm going to attack her. And it's like, bitch, you did attack Karlie. Karlie's like, which she said it to the girls in Karlie, like, damn, like, y'all do remember this effort, like, y'all, Spice, watch last season back. You was after Karlie's ass. Like, she was a good old steak, and you was a Rottweiler. You was coming for her. And at no point really are you thinking, I'm going to apologize to Karlie. And so your excuse is, I'm Caribbean. We act like that. No. If a bitch say, I'm going to whoop your ass, like, I'll be like, oh, she Caribbean. Bitch, no. You said you going to whoop my ass, so now every time I see you, I got to be on guard. I got to look at you like, bitch, do I need to grab a bottle? Like, I'm Candace off of RHOP. Like, I got to be at any moment. Like, is this bitch going to try to jump? Is she going to feel froggy? And so that's like, Spice, like, girl, if you gonna talk about doing a healing trip, then you really need to do some healing, and it's gonna have to start with you, okay? But yeah, you guys, that was the episode 11 Hip Hop. I don't think I missed anything, honestly. I just touched on the most important parts. So y'all tell me, do y'all feel like Spice is not taking accountability? Do you feel like Bambi or like Sierra is wrong for expecting Bambi to be defending her on social media? And do you think Karlie is in the right of it, having an expectation for Spice to apologize for attacking her the way she did? But I appreciate you for tuning in. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, y'all, and I'll catch you later. Bye.